Greetings, Queen Witchy here with Queen of Forces Healing Ministries. It is Friday, the 6th of November, 2020. It has been um, at least a week, I think, since I've uploaded a video trying to do self-care and get my schedule more balanced. So I've been a little frustrated about not posting, but I want to say thank you to my subscribers. I have a few more subscribers, and I appreciate you all. I have 23 subscribers, and I am happy about that. Thank you. Um, it is nice to know that some people are watching and listening. So thank you for your support and your energy. I really appreciate that. It took me so long to even start this channel, and I appreciate anybody who watches. I really do. So thank you again for sharing your energy with me. Thank you for your support. I've been very tired. Again, I've been trying to do better with self-care. Um, and this channel it means a lot to me because as I label myself a wounded healer, there's things that I'm still healing through. And I am proud of myself for starting the channel anyway, because I know this is part of my mission. So again, thank you. I was going to do a reading really quickly, but we'll see. I feel the need to chat a little bit. I know I did a video when I first started the channel that I think I entitled it Why I Started This Channel, a little bit about me. So maybe this can be sort of a continuation of that, this healing journey that I'm on, or a more intentional healing journey as of the past couple years. I appreciate with the healing journey, we're all on a different place. We're all healing different wounds, and I think it's important to just take time to acknowledge that. So yes, I would love for my channel to grow faster. Yes, I would love to upload more videos faster. Yes, all of that. But I'm also going through my own process. I'm also a busy mother. I also have another job. I'm healing some things physically as well. And usually when I talk about healing, I mean emotional, mental, spiritual, but we can't negate the physical. This is all together. We're a whole person, and all of this affects who we are and how we present ourselves to the world, how we have our being in the world, how we relate to ourselves and other people. So part of my journey is trusting myself to do what I know I came here to do. Part of my journey is having enough compassion towards myself to realize that it's okay if I can't do everything that I want to do when I want to do it. Part of my healing journey is realizing that I'm only one person. I only have one body to be in and to do things in. And so figuring out a way to increase support is part of my journey. So this video is turning out to be a very vulnerable, open, and I'm usually very open anyway. Sometimes that's has caused me some, I would say, negative experiences because there's a lot of people in the world that survive by being vampires. If you're on my channel, you're probably a person who has heard of energetic vampires, emotional vampires, spiritual vampires, some knowing that they are, some not. But as an open person, as a vulnerable person, I have to find the right space for that. And so maybe YouTube is that space versus certain people that I may come in contact with that I know are just vampires. Because again, unfortunately, there are people who will take your vulnerability, your understanding, your empathy, and then try to use it against you in some way, um, and manipulate. So, being this type of person, learning boundaries is extremely important. So, I want to encourage you that and say that if you are that type of person and you're struggling with having boundaries with people, that's part of the process. Struggling with having those boundaries. And know that if all your life or most of your life you've been very open, very caring, empathetic, compassionate to other people, and yet haven't had that reciprocated and or being used, it can be difficult to learn to have boundaries with people. But again, you're learning. Healing is about growth and learning. So when we're learning something, as we go through the process of learning, we don't always get it right. So healing is a practice. Practice means you do it again, you do it again, you do it again. Practice doesn't mean you get the right answer every time. Practice means you do it again and again. And the greatest blessing is that you're still practicing. That just the fact that you're still going through the process at whatever speed, whatever level, is enough to pat yourself on the back and say, I'm still here, I'm still doing it. There's a lot of things that I thought I would have accomplished at this point in my life that I have not yet. There's a lot of things that I wanted to have in my life that I don't have yet. There was a person that I thought I wanted to be that I don't think I am yet. But guess what? I'm here. I'm doing many things that keep me in alignment with my purpose. Being here, making these videos on YouTube, no matter if 3 people view them, no matter if 1,000 people view them, I promised myself, I promised my mission that I would complete this task. And it's really just the beginning. So I don't know where it's going to end up taking me, or if nowhere. I don't know. It could be temporary. It could be long lasting. We'll see. But my point is, part of my healing practice within myself is to be here. And there was someone I ran across on Instagram the other day. It's a woman who crochets. I crochet, so I follow her. I'm not sure if it was My Crochet Life or another one. It's 2 very popular ones I follow, amongst other ones, but can't remember. But she had a video there, and she's really emotional in her video, and it made so much sense to me. She was talking about how your purpose, our purpose, my purpose is so intertwined with someone else's that if you don't show up, if I don't show up for my purpose and do what I'm supposed to do, I'm affecting someone else. And that was really powerful because that is so true. Like, I'm a healer and I know that. So if I don't show up in the world and do my job, fulfill my mission, then people I could have impacted positively will either not be impacted or have to figure out another way, go somewhere else, you know, because part of the joy of the healing practice within and without is that when you come across people in your mission in your life, somehow you end up coming across someone else or something else that helps you. So it's such a wonderful thing to just make steps in the direction that you know you need to, and have the compassion and patience with yourself that you have with so many other people. And I say that because that's something that I'm growing with. And most healers, I would say, probably have experienced that at some point. Um, we have a lot of compassion. We have a lot of empathy. We're sensitive. And sometimes we're not that selves. We're not that with ourselves, excuse me. So if you're having that issue, sometimes we just have to remind ourselves, I am going to be as compassionate with myself as I am with other people. I'm going to make steps towards that all the time, even if it's just literally patting yourself on the back. I'm here and I'm doing something towards my mission. So I guess this video was just meant to be a bit of encouragement for people like me, or anybody who has been a healer um, intentionally for some time and is just having a rough time right now. With everything going on in our world right now, with this situation, people calling it a timeout or whatever it is, um, it's very frustrating, to say the least, for me, certain aspects of it. And it's important to have some compassion for ourselves and use the word no with other people when you need to, and put your foot down and just say, you know what? I can't. I won't. No. And again, practice. Because trust me, you will always get the opportunity to have to put somebody in their place, or to have to set a boundary, or whatever you want to call it. It will come around again. So if you're struggling with that and you're not able to do it for whatever reason, that moment, somebody else will come along and give you the opportunity, because people are people. You know, oftentimes we hear, oh, you're attracting this kind of person in your life, da 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 da. But people are people wherever you go. And you're going to come across all types of people, no matter who you are, no matter what you think you're attracting subconsciously, consciously. Um, People are people. So you'll get a chance to practice again. And always remember that. Always remember that. I will get the chance to practice this again. And you will. And the next time, you may do it the way you want to do it. Or not. You may say no. You may draw the line in the sand. You may draw the line in the concrete and let it dry up. Get hard. That's even better. You may say no. You may stick to your boundary. And you may feel badly about that. And sometimes that's part of the process. Until you get into the habit of it, it can be difficult. But that's healing. Sometimes healing hurts, because a lot of the times we get quote unquote comfortable with things that we need to heal from. We get comfortable with our wounds, and then when we start addressing them, it hurts. Like, ugh. Not that we weren't hurting before, but we could become used to that. So the person that we want to become, or the person that we want to bring out, is that we're working towards. That process, getting there, can be a challenge, and it may not feel good all the time because it may be scary. It's unknown on some level. So you can say no and stick to your guns, as they say, and still not feel good about it. But the more you do it, the more you'll be okay with it. Because what you'll notice is, if you're saying no to somebody because it will take away from what you need at that moment, then as you use that energy for yourself, that time for yourself, you'll start building strength up in yourself and be like, hey, wow, should have been doing that. You know? So sometimes it's difficult, and sometimes it's easy for us to beat up on ourselves if we've already been doing that, if that's a pattern for us. Everyone is different. But again, it's a practice. So if you're a perfectionist, because from whatever reason, maybe you've been taught that growing up, um, you can be thinking, oh my God, if I say no to this person, they might think bad of me. Or if you say no and you stick to then you may fuss at yourself. I should have helped them. They're used to me helping, or whatever the case. There's no right way or wrong way to go through your healing process. And that can be hard for a perfectionist to stomach. But it can be done. You can heal. You will heal. You set an intention again, and you make steps towards it. And sometimes you just have to talk to yourself and say, I will be compassionate to myself today. And say it and say it and say it out loud in your own mind. And there's many different ways that compassion can show up to yourself. It could be lying down for 5 minutes because you're tired and you're doing so much. And most times, all the time, there's always something to do. Always. And I can say that from experience. Like, there's so many things I need to do, so many things I want to organize, and blah, blah, blah. So many things I want my children to do. I can't do it all in one day. I can't do it all by myself. In the meantime, if I'm not taking care of myself, I'm burnt out, I'm not feeling well, and not much is getting done anyway. So breaking that cycle, breaking that pattern of trying to do everything, but then yet when you really look at it, there's not a whole lot getting done because there's not enough self-care. And you may not understand that you're not caring for yourself enough because somehow, somewhere along the way, you could have been programmed not to. But then the burnout catches up. So tell yourself you're doing the best you can, because I'm sure you are. I am. Again, I'd like to be doing more, but I'm doing the best I can. And you got to keep yourself alive to make it to the next step in your growth. If you wear yourself out and don't take care of yourself, and your physical body goes to pot, as they say, excuse me, then what? So again, healing is a holistic thing. I'm reminded of this all the time. If your body's out of whack, it's going to affect your feelings. It's going to affect everything. Our whole person works together. I was talking about this in a class I'm teaching, one of the human services class I'm teaching. We were talking about how when we are, as a human service professional, helping clients, we have to address the whole person. There's no one problem in anybody's life. One problem really is just an example, or that's not the word I want to use. But if somebody comes to you with one problem, know that there's problem buddies close by. You know, there's no such thing as one problem in and of itself that stands alone. We're whole beings, and every part of our life is affected by the next. Our finances are affected by emotional health. Our spiritual health is affected by our financial health, and vice versa. Everything works together. So we have to take care of ourselves in every way and congratulate ourselves, especially if we're not used to doing that. You know what? I laid down for 5 minutes. I didn't do anything, but I took some deep breaths. I bet you your body appreciates that, and so does your mind and your emotions. So, thank you again for being here, for listening, for watching, and just be encouraged. I'm going to continue to encourage myself, and you do the same. And we will be where we want to be. But again, life is a continual process of growth. So if we're waiting to get to some certain level before we do ABC, imagine what we're missing out on if we just take one step and a week later another, or whatever, a month later, a day later. Just imagine. So I hope this was encouraging to you. And it's Friday. Where I am is sunny. Enjoy the sunflowers. The sunflowers and sage. That's my vibe today. So be at peace. May the force of healing be with you always. Ashe.